Donald Trump, the character in our lives, would be even more fantastical if he was proven to be a product of inbreeding. So let's take a look at his family history. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Here on Mortal Faces, I transform historic portraits to see how individuals we read about might have looked in real life, as well as go through family trees. So thank you for watching, subscribe for more family trees and recreations, and let me know in the comments who you want to see in real life. We have the most information from his grandparents, Frederick Trump and Elizabeth Christ, both born in Kallstadt in the Kingdom of Bavaria. We're going to go through the Christ family tree. For Elizabeth, her grandparents are Johann Christ and Sabina Hartung. Johann Christ's ancestor in the 1500s came from Frankfurt, Germany. He had a son, Peter, who moved to Florsheim, who had a son, Johann Peter Christ, in 1626. This guy became quite successful. He was a Schufe, which in medieval Germany was an executive official of the ruler. So the Christ family weren't merely peasants. On the other hand, Sabina Hartung, her ancestor was Johannes Michael Hartung in the 1700s. He was a famous organ builder, gaining contracts all over the Rhineland-Palatinate. Here is his portrait. Let's recreate that, and do you think he looks like Trump? Together, Johann and Sabina had Philip Christ, who had Elizabeth Christ in 1880, Trump's paternal grandmother. As for his grandfather, Frederick's side, the Trump family can trace their ancestor to Heinz and Trump, a lawyer. Heinz Trump settled in Kallstadt in 1608, and whose descendants changed their name from Trump to Trump during the 30 Years' War. In Kallstadt, there have been several variations in spellings of the surname in the village archives, including Drum, Trom, Trump, Trum, Trump, and Drum. And this is because before the masses knew how to write, people transcribed their names through spoken language. So depending on how you said it, it got transcribed differently. Hans Trump's descendant was Johann Philipp Trump, or Trump, who married Juliana Rodenroth. Their son was John Trump, who married Susanna Kohl. They had Johann Paul Trump from Bobenheim-Amberg, which was 1 hour's walk from Kallstadt, and he married Maria Setzer. So far, we have marriages with non-family members. They had 9 children, and the youngest, Johannes Trump, born in 1788 or 89, married in Kallstadt to Maria Beschloff. Johannes Trump established himself by the early 1830s as a wine grower in Kallstadt, which was one of the many villages in the famous wine-growing region of the Palatinate. What's interesting is Johannes Trump's sister, Charlotte Louisa, married Johann George Heinz. Their son, Johann Heinrich, later John Henry Heinz, born in 1811, emigrated to the United States in 1840. He was the father of Henry J. Heinz, the founder of the Heinz Company, and Donald Trump's second cousin, twice removed. So in addition to the Trumps, Kallstadt was home to the founder of the Heinz Ketchup Company. The funny thing with this is we tend to think of Donald Trump as being inbred, and this actually is not new news. Apparently, according to the locals, there is a rumor and a long history of intermarriage between the Trumps and the Heinzes, according to the Kings of Kallstadt documentary in 2014. So, it may be possible that the Heinz which Charlotte married was her cousin. Johannes Trump and Maria's grandson was Frederick Trump. Frederick's father died, leaving the family with great medical debts, and Trump's grandfather, Frederick, was too sickly to work in the family vineyards. So in 1885, Frederick Trump emigrated from Kallstadt to the United States at age 16 without telling authorities, which unknowingly he would give up his right to live in Germany ever again. He anglicized his name from Friedrich to Frederick in 1892 when he became a U.S. citizen. He was a very entrepreneurial man, and during the Klondike Gold Rush, he amassed a fortune by operating a restaurant and hotel in Bennett, and then later Whitehorse, serving gold seekers on their way to the region. One biographer wrote that the business included a brothel, which Donald Trump said was totally false. Either way, a wealthy man now, he married Elizabeth Christ, a former neighbor, and they were both from Kallstadt. She was homesick and wanted to go back, so upon arriving in Germany, Frederick was actually exiled by the country a year later for his lack of mandatory military service and not giving authorities notice before his 1885 departure. He tried to appeal it, but this was denied, and so he went back to America, making home in New York, where he died from the first wave of the Spanish flu pandemic in 1918. After his death, his fortune was passed on to his wife and son. His son, Fred Trump, continued and expanded the real estate business with his mother, Elizabeth, until she died. He married a maid, Marianne McLeod, and they had Donald. Is Donald Trump actually inbred? Not officially. His ancestors, up 500 years, seemed to have married outsiders as far as I could tell. So unfortunately, as entertaining as it would have been, we cannot jump for joy just yet, as there is no proof he is a product of inbreeding. But his family history does show a pattern of successful individuals who pick themselves up from hard times, like the rebirth of a phoenix from its dead ashes. There you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you want to see actual inbreeding, I do have King Tut and the Whitakers on my channel. Their family trees, links in the description. Subscribe for more videos. Each of your subscriptions does help this channel grow. It allows me to continue making more content for you. Let me know in the comments who you want to see next. I do make a list of all your suggestions, and I will see you in the next one.